I'm here in beautiful Edenderry, and today I'm going to experience my first equine assisted psychotherapy session, or the EAGALA model as it's globally known, with the wonderful Katrina and Louise, who are going to assist me in my session. Quite nervous and excited, never done anything like this before, so let's go and see what this is all about. Hi everyone, I am here in beautiful Edenderry in Offaly today with the fantastic Katrina and Louise from Equine Assisted Psychotherapy Ireland, otherwise known as EAGALA globally, that's my understanding. And today I'm absolutely honoured to be here to experience a session myself in person, which I've always wanted to do, so it's wonderful to be able to get this experience. And this is in conjunction with my book Nightshade, where our female protagonist Abby is unfortunately going through some serious trauma in terms of bullying and abandonment by her father. So to tie in with those themes, we're going to see today how horses can assist people through trauma and I suppose make everything a little better. So yeah, just want to introduce Katrina first of all.
Hi Claire, great to have you here.
Thank you so much.
So I suppose my role in the EAGALA team, it's a three-person team, or a three-pronged team. So I'm the equine specialist. So my role is really to keep an eye on the horses and the physical safety of them and the participants in the session. And then this is Louise.
Hi, so yeah, I'm Louise. I'm the mental health person, so I'm a psychotherapist. My role in the team is to monitor the emotional safety of the client and of the team, each person in the arena, and kind of monitor the story and assist the client to kind of connect in with what's going on for them.
Wonderful.
And then the third part of the team are the horses.
The main star.
These beauties, yeah.
These beauties who I'm looking forward to.
Exactly.
What I'm wondering is, what is it that you would be bringing here today? What kind of piece would you like to be working on with the horses?
So I think, like many people, I, have a lot of anxiety day to day. I think obviously modern life really contributes to that. So I'd really like to get some, I suppose, sense of calm, how to be more present in the space and just to be a little less anxious. I think the world is just moves at a very fast pace all the time. So growing up, I did a lot of riding. I really miss being around horses. So it's wonderful to be back down here today and see if I can connect like that.
Okay, lovely. So what I'm thinking, we're going to move around here a little so we can see the horses. What I'm thinking, Katrina, if we ask Claire to just maybe take 5 minutes or so to just observe.
Okay.
So take a look at what anxiety looks like out there.
Okay.
And maybe see what comes up for you in that piece.
Okay.
And then come back to
And then come back to us. So we're going to keep ourselves out of the way.
Okay.
And you come back to us when you're ready.
Sure. So you just want me to observe?
Just for 5 minutes, go out with anxiety in your mind.
Okay.
And see what that looks like out there, and what is it being represented for you.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
What happened out?
So I just tried to listen to what you were saying and feel that feeling, and then I was just observing the horse's behavior, I suppose. Obviously, I think there's one connection stronger than another, and yeah, it feels nice. It feels different. I haven't experienced something like this before, so
Okay.
yeah. I feel I had to settle myself down a lot there because obviously, you come in with a million things in your mind and you just have to really connect. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay. And when the settling down happened, did anything happen with them?
Yeah, I noticed that they nearly recognised that, I think. I found that there was a bit more eye contact, observing of me maybe then as well. So yeah, that's my experience so far, I think. Yeah. So it's nice to have that like calm feeling and not like just be in the moment, be present. It's interesting because you're looking at yourself like under a microscope, but my immediate thing is I hope these horses like me. I want to connect with them. Please like me. I'm sure you get that a lot. Please, can we be friends or whatever? So, and then I'm obviously very conscious that it's their space, so they're in control of, I suppose, the connection that happens. So that's just something else that I observed so far.
Okay, and part of what we were chatting before you went out, you were saying around the anxiety of everyday life, trying to connect in, trying to get the job done. Do you feel that was represented in?
Yeah, I think so. I tried my best to, as you asked, to sort of just bring that feeling forward. So yeah, I tried to just represent that and how I would feel when that happens. Which is not a nice feeling. So, so it's very, very stressful. So I just wanted to try and feel that and then see what happens in the space.
There is no right and wrong. This is your time. There isn't a set way that it has to be done. It's your space and your time with that.
And that's so good to hear, because I think a lot of people feel like, am I doing it right? I have to do it to, it has to be amazing. I have to do it like the best performance ever, whatever I'm doing. So it's nice that there's no right or wrong way to do this.
Yeah.
So that's refreshing as well.
Yeah. Take about 10 minutes for you to do that. And if you at any point want to check in, you come in to us, otherwise we'll call you in.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So I can take an item and work with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no problem. So second time out.
Yeah.
What happened out there?
I definitely felt a bit more comfortable, and I think I'm naturally would be a nurturer. So when you said, you can groom them, I was like, that would help me relax again, and hopefully then. So then that was nice to just get a bit more of a connection. I found that quite calming anyway, to do that. I think they're both very receptive to that. They seem to enjoy it and be quite interested in what I was doing. So it felt nice. And just again, that steady sense of getting calmer as the minutes go on is a nice feeling. And they kind of make you calm, like nothing fast is happening around them. They're all, they seem to be, you're on their time, which is nice as well. And it's good, I think, for humans to experience that as opposed to always everything being on our schedule. So it's been really nice this second couple of minutes out there.
And we've got two of the larger four-legged and we've got a smaller four-legged out there behind you now. I'm wondering, is there anything you can relate to in that? Like it was creating a lot of movement.
Okay. I just felt that I love being around the horses and the dogs, and Tashi's great. And I think that I'm always looking for connection.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, can we all be friends and maybe we'll do something together or something in the arena. That's what, I think people naturally seek that out. I'm certainly the same. So I think that was probably what was creating the movement.
Okay.
Just again, please like me, can we all be friends and connect? And so yeah, that's kind of what I'm experiencing. Sorry, that isn't very, it's kind of, I hope I'm not waffling, but it's hard to verbalize it sometimes.
Yeah.
And Because what I'm hearing is that connection piece, and I'm wondering, there were times where I saw movement towards and that connection, and then moving away.
Yeah.
And what was that? What was going on there?
I just didn't want to crowd them. I thought, well, yeah, I'll let them decide if they want to come to me, I suppose, as well. I didn't want to be sort of chasing them around the arena saying, oh, please let me connect with you. So I was just trying to give them some space and let them come to me, as opposed to me kind of being on top of them, or so.
And even now, look.
Yeah. Do you think we've got there? I'm honoured. Oh my gosh, I was thinking, well, what if they don't like me? So it's a lovely, peaceful feeling. And again, just grooming them is nice as well, and they seem to be, she's going to do something for us as well. So it's nice.
Because I'm hearing connection is important.
It is,
And,
definitely.
and that need to, or that desire, or to feel connected.
Yes.
And then there's also that other piece about pursuing connection.
Correct. Yeah.
And there were times when they were standing still and maybe approached, and other times when that went away and then they followed.
Yeah.
And there was times where there were 3 in a row.
Yeah.
And Tammy.
And Tammy as well. I'm very happy Tammy's in the gang this morning too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exactly how I experienced it. And then you get like a nice feeling when they do acknowledge you. It's like, they can see me. I'm here. Like, it's nice. It's a nice feeling. So that's kind of what I experienced there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a big word that's coming to me as well is being patient. Again, just waiting, being a bit more patient for things, as opposed to, I suppose always been on the pursuit is not good.
Okay.
And was there a chance to explore that out there, that patience?
Yeah. I thought I made myself be patient, and again, I know very basic things about horses, but I do see people waiting for the horse to come to them, as opposed to chasing them around the arena, trying to get them to do things. So I'm more than happy to wait for them as well. So I hope I did okay. So they're wonderful. And I enjoyed that. Felt like, that second little bit more good in the situation. Yeah. Just more relaxed and stuff. So, yeah.
Is there any other piece you would you want to go back out? Is there anything else you'd like to do, or anything else you'd like to achieve before the end of this?
Would you recommend anything else before we finish? Is there anything? I know you said the things in the middle of the arena, and I just wasn't really sure if you use them or how do you.
So sometimes, depending where people are at, they might wish to create something.
Okay.
So they might
represent.
Yeah. So you might want to create something that represents. You said there a couple of times about connection and about being perceived as getting it right.
Yeah, that's right.
And the anxiety piece.
And the anxiety piece. So you might create something that represents that for you, and then take the horses with you through it.
Oh, I understand. Okay. Yes. Okay, cool.
I would be saying to you, journal after you leave here and explore what it is you need, what you can take from today.
Okay.
And how you can translate that into helping yourself in your week.
Okay. I will. Yeah. It's a really good idea, actually.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is like,
it's not what happens in here.
Sometimes it's, it's processing in the background, and it could be a week down the line. That's,
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. I know it's really like just a sense of like being present, quite peaceful, which is really refreshing for me.
Yeah.
So really enjoyed that.
If you were just doing a demonstration of the model, then we might say, okay, go out and create something so you can see that that's one piece of the model that we do.
Okay.
But today is about great.
Yeah. So I understand. Yeah. I definitely really understand how the model is starting to work now. Yeah, from that experience,
And I think also sometimes if it feels right to build something, you'd be drawn to that. If it felt right with the brushes and to spend time with them, then that was what
that
they were
felt
drawn
really
to.
nice. Yeah. Again, it just felt nice to groom them and have a nice connection. So it felt calming, and they seem to enjoy it. You can see them kind of, that's quite nice as well.
Yeah, choosing to stand.
Yeah, choosing to stand still, which I'm honoured because I know that you know, they don't have to do that. They can say no thanks, and they don't want to groom me.
Yeah, they're free to.
They're free to walk away. And it's lovely that there was even kind of standing there. That's lovely to feel that, like, it was just nice to be close to them, like, yes. So, ladies, thank you so much for that session. I really enjoyed it. I think I'm still kind of processing it, which is probably normal. But if you want to maybe chat me through, you know, what you saw happening, and, you know, I suppose how I got on, or how did you interpret what happened for me?
So I'm kind of gonna say to you, how do you think you got on?
So I think I got on okay. I enjoyed it. Took me a little while to settle, which is probably normal. Again, you're kind of going a million miles an hour all the time. But then when I did settle, I obviously started to feel a nice connection with the horses. I felt when I started to groom them as well that I felt an acknowledgement of my presence then, that I was sort of in the space, and that was nice. And I found it really calming, and I found myself looking kind of inward a lot and really thinking about why I was there and what I was trying to get out of the session. So, but I felt like a peacefulness. I felt not anxious at all, which is nice because I'm very like, you know, I'm very anxious a lot of the time. And I just felt a sense of calm, yeah, which was nice. And I felt maybe reassured. Would that be that's kind of how I felt? So I just, I think there are obviously some big animals, and I find the feeling safety of them, you know, which is nice. So that's how I experienced it.
And so every session is completely different. So
Okay.
depends what the client is coming out bringing, what they want to work on. Sometimes we might choose horses specifically for that.
Okay.
Events, sometimes not. The team we have here, they just super what they do. But every session is completely different.
Okay.
And it really depends. So if you're asking how you did, we don't have
like a grade
target that you need to hit. It's totally you stepped inside the arena, that's a win.
Okay.
And then after that, whatever you get from that is a bonus.
Okay. And
Would you add any more to say?
Yeah, because it's such a unique experience.
it is.
And depending on what you bring in. So for you, say, bringing in anxiety and the hustle and bustle and, you know, the rush of life and that wanting to connect. What we would compare the horse's movements to what you have talked about before we start.
Okay.
So, say, Katrina might have observed at different points that there was a lot of movement around you. So you would go to connect, the horse would move around. And then you'd move again, and then you would make the connection.
Okay.
And I would be careful not to interpret, because I would see something in that.
Yeah.
It might not be what you say.
Okay.
So I'd be careful not to interpret. So that's why we always give it back to you and say, what was it for you? Because my interpretation could be very different. For instance, when I saw a lot of movement, my head went to the place of, you know, wanting to connect with the constant movement, making it difficult. But when we stopped to talk, you said, I felt that sense of connection. And that as I approach, they may move away, but then I could then still move and connect with them. So I would have interfered with your piece.
Okay.
Had I brought that in.
Yeah.
So as facilitators, we're always conscious of where our heads go, but that doesn't impinge on your story.
Yeah.
So we look at the horses and their observations, and even when our observations are based on the horses. So even when we checked in with you, the horses kind of gave us the cue as to when.
Okay.
Like, so maybe there was a shift, maybe there was a lot of stillness and everybody was standing still, and then there was movement, and then that was our cue to check in and see how it went.
Okay.
If we checked in when there was something happening, we could break or interrupt your processing in that.
And obviously you're getting signals from the horses all the time, are you, within the session?
Yeah.
Okay.
Watching.
Yeah.
And they're not trained there's no training. You can't train them to be therapy horses. You can train them to be okay with everything, anything that you're going to have in the arena.
Okay.
But they naturally bring, what they naturally bring is really why it works.
That makes sense.
So
Yeah.
suit every horse know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's knowing your horses really well and knowing where, when they're happy to do the work and when actually it's too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no more than like a teammate. They are.
Yeah.
So if Louise sensed I was a bit off, maybe she'd say, you know what, maybe we won't do the session this week. Maybe we'll put it back to next week or vice versa.
That makes sense. Yeah. And like, what first drew you both to this? Because it is so unique. And, you know, how did you both get into this?
You go first. So I suppose my first pony I got when I was 13. I always wanted, the first thing I ever sat on was a cow that my granny has that was really quiet, and my dad put me up on this and I was like, oh my God, this is class. And then I saved up my communion money till I was 13. My dad helped me and we got this little pony, and I spent more time on the ground pulling off her than I did on her. But that was the beginning of it. Like, I remember even starting to say a massive transition would have been starting secondary school. And I remember actually we had her in this yard. We used to use the shed. And I remember my mum dropping me at the gate on the way home from school, and my head was whizzing like about school and how like the transition was really horrible, but it probably just unsettled me a lot. And I remember throwing my leg over the gate and I was all about that. And I went down to her, spent a bit of time with her. When I got home, I was a different person. I was chilled out, back to me, as accepted, you know, even
centered, like,
So I suppose then from that, like, we had ponies, I suppose after that kind of grew a bit. And then I was on honeymoon with my husband. We went to a ranch in Montana, and there was a girl there who was training in equine therapy. And I was like, oh my God, this is a thing. So then 2010, I was supposed to go for a weekend away with my friends to Berlin. And I randomly did a search of equine assisted like psychotherapy or learning training, and it was one that weekend in Galway.
Okay.
So then that was the EAGALA Model. The guy I rang was on his horse and he was like, there might be one place left. So I got that, and that was kind of the story of it.
Wonderful.
So horses are just amazing. Like, they've made such a difference to me. So that's if we can to more people,
spread it, spread it around. What about yourself, Louise? How did you came to it?
Oh gosh, for me, again, I've always had an interest in horses, and I rode a lot when I was young. But growing up in, inner city in Dublin, it wasn't in a position to have them then. And then roll on a good few years, and I'm done here, and we were approaching lockdown, and my two daughters ride, and I found even then that horse riding was a great way for them to regulate, to kind of, after a busy week, to kind of help them ground themselves a bit. Sure. So I've been saving to go to New York for a big birthday that was coming up, and I wanted it to be a big, so I was saving really hard for this, and I knew this is like March 2020 that it wasn't going to happen. We were going to go into lockdown, and I wasn't going to get away. And I thought, okay, if I can get a horse, then, because horse riding is also going to close down. And the girls won't have access to that. And I'm lucky I do have space. So I decided to use the money and buy a horse for the girls, so that we were in lockdown, they would be still in a position to ride. So they call him Ziggy, I call him New York. That's where
where this came from.
So, but what happened then is that my daughter was struggling in school, and the horse was staying in a friend's place until we were in a position to bring him home. And on the way up, she was very agitated, and she was quite, everything was a problem, and she was kind of being quite stroppy,
Right.
And I was kind of trying to, I'm going to do this to the horse, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. And I was saying, just calm it down. We don't know him too well yet, so let's see how we get on. So we got into the arena. She wasn't hearing me, my nails lifting, and she wasn't riding him. She wanted to do a thing called free schooling, which is you send them on around the arena, and she wanted to free school him over jumps.
Sure.
And so she's in the middle, I'm at the gate watching, and she sends him on. But he started to get really fast and kept going around her and she was trying to aim him towards the jumps, get him to go. And he twirling his heels, he'd go back the other way. And I'm watching, he knows what he's doing in here because I could see him watching her.
Okay.
So I was trying to figure out what was happening. So I asked her and I said, what do you think's happening right now? She said, he's being really bold. He won't do as he's told. He's not listening to me at all. And I said, okay. I said, does that feel familiar? And she said, yes, it's me.
Isn't that incredible? The mirror has been held up.
Absolutely. And I went into the arena and she started to cry. She started to tell she'd had a horrific week in school where the bullying had escalated. And she was able to then let all that out. And the whole time he's still going around, but slowing down and slowing down and slowing down. And he's watching the whole time. And as the whole lot came out about what had happened and what had been said, and she started to cry, he then just came over and put his head over her shoulder and just stood there. I didn't need to do anything. So he mirrored what was going on for her. He showed her what she could see. She could recognize all of the feelings being shown in front of her. But then he held her to allow her to give her that space to cry and to
feel safe. Yeah.
And I remember just being so in awe of watching this animal do this. I thought, I have to know more. There has to be something more to this.
Yeah.
And that's what sent me searching.
Wow.
And I found EAGALA. And I loved the EAGALA model because there is a mental health person present, which means when things like this come up, they are held in the right way and they are processed in the right way so that the individual is not left with anything when they go on.
Yeah.
Which, it's not good.
No. Yeah. There has to be like that safe space after the sessions and stuff.
Yeah. And also, as an equine specialist,
yes,
having the mental health person beside me is amazing.
Yeah, you two are a great team. I can see that as well. Yeah.
But I can keep an eye on the horses, and I don't have to. There's no pressure on me to
be
doing that. Don't have.
Yes, of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I know that Louise is keeping an eye on the client, and she's there with the skills ready should they be needed, and I can do really give the horse my full attention and read what's going on there.
Yeah.
And in relation to the client. So it's just unbelievable.
And the same for me, because then I know she's got the horses, she's got the safety piece if it's needed.
Yes.
She's watching the movements and she will then relate them back to me so that I can then connect them to the client's story and that we can then relate the movements to what the client is experiencing.
But then also, obviously, I think they're such big animals, so you can't go in there to kind of turn your weight around because they're always going to be bigger than you.
And because they're so big, their movements are, they're more noticeable.
Yes.
And the shifts and changes in them, it gives instant feedback.
It does.
They are so big and their presence is big also. Yeah.
No, and that's really good. And it's just, it teaches things so clearly, to a situation like that, because they have the power, the horses, and that's obviously something maybe that person hadn't experienced before, where maybe you have to kind of humble, I think, and you're smaller than them, so you have to take those cues from them when they're going to let you get close to them or not get close to them. So that makes a lot of sense as well.
The other, sorry,
no, I was just going to say that what often comes up with the groups, with the teens, is boundaries.
Yeah,
and that's an interesting one because they can kind of set their boundaries. Their boundaries could be all over the place, but they can learn how to set them with the horses.
Yeah,
and you might have a teenager say, "I don't like that because that horse is all over me." And say, "Well, tell them."
Tell them.
Ask them to step back.
Yeah.
Set your boundary.
Yeah.
And they might do it physically, first of all, by putting maybe, the jump stands or something around them initially. And then say, okay, so that's one boundary. Can we look at another type of boundary? So they might then move out of that and then start with their body language, tell the horse to back off, and the horse will back off.
Yeah.
So it sees them that they have the power to actually set this for themselves.
They no.
Yeah.
And then every boundary that's built is completely different.
Yeah.
But really solid. Some maybe are slightly sloped. And so that tells a story in itself, and then how the horses are around those as well is really interesting.
Yeah. And just one thing as well, just touch on before we finish, is around the heart mapping. I know we talked about the heart rate when you're in the arena with the horse, and can you just explain what that actually?
So I suppose their electromagnetic field is 5 times that of a person.
Yeah.
So I suppose their calmness is going to exude out further than just themselves. And without us even knowing, on an energetic level, intends to bring that, like you mentioned, it was you felt calmness.
I do, yeah.
And they tend to co-regulate. Like in a herd, it probably comes from being in a herd that they need to co-regulate. They need to be in sync with everyone else. If there's a threat, then
would be
all the others move. And so I suppose that's the beauty of it, is that they're always in tune with what's going on around them.
Yeah.
And can regulate each other in hers. So then that's what's happening in the arena also, yeah.
You can really feel it, you know, the electromagnetic fields, like it's a real thing, and you're like, whoa, like it's hard to verbalize how it just, but you feel it straight away, like, and I find it like really, really calming. So I totally, can understand, like.
And I find as well, when my head is busy, when I go out, they tend to leave me figure that out first and come into my body first before they kind of tell me whether I'm in my body or in my head.
Okay, that does make sense.
By their reactions.
Yeah.
So if I'm rushing and I'm going down to catch them and I'm obviously walking faster.
Yeah.
Then they're a bit more like, I'm not sure.
I want to engage with her right now. Like,
But when I'm aware and I can kind of regulate myself a bit, then, and this is just me with them in the field, and probably they know me so well also.
Yeah.
But when I'm a bit more aware, stepping into the field of where I'm at, then it's a different story when I go in there.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It does. And again, it's just, they read us so well, like, don't they, quicker than we read ourselves. And it's just like that feeling that you have to look inwards, like, okay, where is my head at now? Like, are we in a good space to go in and connect? Like, essentially that's what I've experienced. And patience as well, like, just not immediately like having everything you want, and you know, okay, you waiting for the connection for them to come to you. That's how I felt in the arena, which I just think in modern life people are just used to getting things, you know, immediately, like, so it's just a very interesting and like nice sense of being present and waiting. So, and then just finally, where would you like to see the EAGALA model go in Ireland? Like, is there any, you know, big, I suppose, dreams for the future with it, continue to grow, or, you know, what's on the cards for yourselves? And
we've big dreams for EAGALA. Yeah. It's, I suppose, you see, we're passionate about it because we can see the difference that it makes.
Yes.
And, you know, for me, and especially working with groups, I could sit with somebody in a room for 6 months, because I am a psychotherapist. I've been doing this 20 years and I still see people every day. It could take us 6 months to reach the place that we can get to in 6 weeks with the horses.
Okay.
Because they create such movement. That's why we would advise, you know, out there today, we're saying maybe take a journal and start writing about this, because what can initially seem as, you know, I felt this or felt this. Suddenly people can say, actually, that represented my mother, or that represented my father, or that represented my job. And this is what it brought up in me. So it gives you time to kind of journal about it.
Yeah.
So when you see something that effective, you want to get it out there. You want to share it.
I do.
As an organisation, I suppose Katrina can answer more about that, because she's our coordinator, coordinator for Ireland. But for me, on a personal level, I'm just so concerned with where our teens are right now.
Yes.
And the impact of society and social media and all of those things.
Yes.
And that has me quite concerned. And I feel the horses are the answer. That if I can get groups out there, rather than helping one, I could help 6 at one time. They can help each other.
Yeah.
And the horses will take us all into it.
Yes.
And I just feel if we can get this all around Ireland, imagine the impact it would have.
Yeah.
It would be just
it would be incredible.
Yeah.
And I just think in the modern world, again, like, that sense of connection and peace is so very hard to come by, because it's just scrolling, phone, like bullying, like some terrible things that happen in school. So I can totally understand and see the great benefits there, you know.
And also then disconnect from, like, we operate in our heads a lot.
Yes.
And we're not really tuned into our bodies.
So true.
And the horse is bringing that piece.
Yes, they do.
And tuning into what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And then giving us the time and the space and the calmness to be able to, like, pause and figure that out.
Groundedness. Like you.
So that's powerful. Also for people that sometimes they're all therapied out.
Yeah.
All talked out. And this is, the horses just shift. They shift stuff. They move stuff without you even knowing. And in a like stuff that maybe is trapped, you know, emotions that are trapped somewhere in the body. They kind of shift that a little bit. So look, at the network in Ireland is really strong. We've had great coordinators, like Philip Delft first brought the network together, and then there was Joe Slattery, he's done TED Talks, and then me. But we've really worked to get a good team together.
Yes.
So we learn from each other, we're collaborative, like we have great resources that we share. We attend different people's events, any demonstrations that are happening, like we row in and help. So we're all there. It really comes down to the horses and the amazing power that they have, and we're kind of spokespeople for them.
They're pure people.
And like, how long is a piece of string?
Do
you know what I mean? But what we believe in is the fact that the model has a mental health person and the equine person and the horses. And I think that's really strong, and the clients are minded. And then there's the network, like the level of support in the EAGALA model is amazing, because there's the network that's supportive, and then there's the global network as well. There's global meetings that are on. They're always upskilling us and having new speakers on that we can learn and develop and grow with. So it's just wonderful. It's fantastic. It's strong. But there's a lot of really, really good people in there.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
And if people were interested in learning more, booking a session, they can go to the EAGALA website, or
they can go to the EAGALA website, or Louise manages the Equine Assisted Psychotherapy Ireland website. So anyone in the Ireland network are there.
And on the screen. So thank you both so much for such a wonderful experience today.
Can I add one more thing?
You can add whatever you want.
The beauty of it is that the horses let us take what's inside and externalize it, so you can kind of see it playing out with the horses. And even if the creative piece is brought in, or when the creative piece is brought in, it's like it's your stories happening out there, so it's not a spotlight directly on you. Everyone, and even when we stand, when we're checking in, we're still focusing on the horses, so it's still the stories being told out there, and in that there's more freedom to kind of explore it, rather than spotlight on you is
so true.
A bit of pressure.
No, I definitely agree. And it's just I would advise like anyone to come and experience a session, obviously to book in if they can, because you do learn things about yourself, and it's such a unique experience to have, you know. It's nearly hard to verbalize. You have to kind of experience it. And again, Louise, I will be doing some journaling later on today after the experience. So, and thank you both so much again.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Cheers. So that was an incredible experience. Thank you so much to Louise and Katrina and the horses for having me down to experience this in person today. It goes to show how helpful horses can be for people going through trauma, crisis, and obviously it aligns perfectly with our protagonist in Nightshade, Abby's story, who forms a beautiful bond with the mare Nightshade, and it really helps her through a very, very difficult period in her life. I would encourage anyone to try this if you get a chance. And horses are really, really special animals, and it's one of the reasons I wrote Nightshade.